mothers, there are two um, types of milk that flow from the breast during breastfeeding. The person who knows best is the child, not you, not even the doctor. There's the fore milk, the one that comes first when you put the child to breast. And there's the hind milk, the one at the back, where the real food is. To breastfeed properly and accurately, this should be a visual thing. I'll try to use words to. I'll make a video about it later. Do some graphic um, representation of it, demonstration. But from my words, you can make out what to do. You're supposed to sit erect, and probably arc the back away to where you are relaxed. The reason is if you crouch towards your baby, if you fold your back towards your baby, you get tired of breastfeeding faster. So you're going to stop breastfeeding your child because of you, not because they are full. The child's capacity is known to the child, not you. Different children have different feeding capacity to where they become full. They have the volume of milk they'll get, and they are full. And the child's brain at that level controls all of that. Helps the child get the quantity they need per time. So you don't want to be the reason why your child has stopped breastfeeding each time. It's the child that's supposed to go away from the breast, fall asleep on the breast, or stop sucking. You know, of course, guaranteed or provided that every other factor is the breast, your milk is being let down. So step one is the position. You want to sit erect or even relax, arc backwards, relax. Then you bring the child to your breast. You don't go to your child with your breast. You bring the child to your breast. And then the child instinctually latches to the nipple. You know, Before all that, you want to also clean the breast and the areola region. So that you don't have a lot of bacteria going into the child's mouth. Then you do put the child to breast and then let the child stay there on one breast. So every woman who's listening to this thing I'm saying now, what they do, the times you are breastfeeding, what you are doing with your child, you breastfeed the child on this side for a couple of minutes and then you turn to the other side. And the first couple of minutes the child is on the breast, what comes through is water and sugar. That's the content of the first milk that comes through during breastfeeding. There's another milk at the back that is rich in fatty acid and everything the child needs to gain weight. So every child is taking breast milk in the beginning of life, or the ones that are at least exclusively breastfed. They're taking breast milk in the beginning, but some look chubbier and fatter and more well fed than the others. And the difference between those two babies is one is getting the other part of the milk, and every breast has that milk. It's just information that's not available. So the mother puts the child to breast for a couple of minutes and then takes the child away, puts it on the other breast. And probably the breast is heavy before she started breastfeeding. So the moment she feels some relief on that side, she puts the child on this other side because this side is also heavy. So the thing is being determined by the mother. That's not correct. The child is the child that determines when you go away from one breast to the other breast. And how does he signal you when he stops sucking? You make the assumption that this other breast is empty. You now take the child to this other side. If the child does not continue to suck, you can now conclude the child is full. You let the child beat the next time you breastfeed and you keep going like that. That child will gain much more weight, will be much more immune to. Of course, the material in the milk that also helps the child to ward off some of these issues they might have at the beginning of life. You want the child to get all of that. So this is what the technique is. If you're listening to this as a man, send it to people you know who are breastfeeding. Send it to your girlfriend. Again, some of these things are not even going to meet you when you're doing them. These are information you have before you get into those. You want to prepare for a phase before you get into it. That's the correct thing. So you're moving correctly. But I finished telling the mother this thing and she started apologizing to her child. That child was like, I think, 3 week old. She started saying, "Oh, my baby, sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. I've not been doing the correct thing." She felt touched. She felt it. You have been giving your child water and sugar since. You just do water and sugar for like 15 minutes on this breast. You go to the breast, water and sugar. That's the first thing that comes to water and sugar. That's what's in the full milk. The first milk, water and sugar. The back of the breast, that's where the whole thing is. Everything is there. And that child did not get it. Then you get the child, let the child go. Come again, bring it in. Water and sugar on the right, water and sugar on the left. You drop the child again. You come again, water and sugar. Just imagine that you are eating, um, you're taking tea every day versus somebody that's taking everything. Chicken today, yogurt tomorrow, tea next tomorrow. Everybody eating every class of food versus somebody that's just taking only tea. So if you're breastfeeding your child that quickly and that's inappropriately for whatever reason, that's what the child is getting. Water and sugar, water and sugar. So that child will not die, but they will look like something is wrong. And this is a child that is supposed to be exclusively breastfed. Again, in the first couple of months, most children are not eating anything extra. But in that first couple of months, most children look better fed than the others. Can you see? So please, just information. That's the gap. I hope this helped somebody.